Hey y'all, welcome to At Home with Chef Jolie. And if you've been around for a minute, that means you true to this and you ain't new to this. So welcome back. All right, y'all, comfort food season. Let's get into my pot roast with red wine mushroom gravy. All right, y'all, first things first, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead, do that. Hit the thumbs up button, give this video a like, turn on your notifications, all that good stuff. All right, we had to wash our meat first. You saw me wash the meat. This is just a chuck roast. Got this from Kroger. You can get it at any grocery store, okay? After I washed it, I pat it clean, and then I drizzle some olive oil all over it. And then I take, I'm going to use a Dabaduya, right? Get you some of Dabaduya. The link to get you some is in the description, like I tell y'all all the time. So pick you up some. Holidays are coming. You're going to need it. And then you're going to liberally, listen to me, liberally, you're going to season both sides. Start with your olive oil. Then you add some of Dabaduya, okay? And you see this chuck roast, it has a nice amount of fat and marbling in it. That's going to make this meat so tender, so juicy, so succulent, okay? All right, so we got both sides. And look at me, you got to get in the crevices too, okay? You got both sides with the olive oil and with the Dabaduya, and I'm just massaging it in, making sure, you see me taking care of it, okay? I got me a hot cast iron skillet here, and then I'm going to add some more olive oil, and then we're going to sear it. It makes all the difference. This part of the process takes maybe about 10 to 12 minutes. That's locking in the flavor, okay? You're going to sear both sides, and I'm going to sear this for probably about 5 to 6 minutes or so on each side. And then I'm just pressing it down to make sure that the surface of that chuck roast hits that hot skillet, okay? Now, after 5 or 6 minutes, you want to flip it over to the other side. I'm going to take a peek, and yep, it's ready. So let's go ahead and let's flip it over. And you see, it is not burnt, honey, okay? That is flavor. That is that Dabaduya that has seared into the meat, okay? So got the other side nice and where I want it to be. And now I'm just searing the edges. This was a pretty thick chuck roast, so I went ahead and seared around the edges. This is not necessary, but it didn't hurt. So I went ahead and seared the edges. I'm going to flip it over, and we're going to get the other edge as well. And then, y'all, I got a little trick. I got a little hack for you. If you watched my episode of my cream of mushroom soup, we're going to utilize that in this pot roast. If you hadn't watched it, go ahead and watch that episode and also get that recipe too, because you're going to need it for this pot roast. All right, everything's seared, and we're going in with 2 cups of red wine, honey, because why not? So, you know what I always say, if you don't drink wine, just know that the alcohol content cooks out. Or if you don't want to use the wine at all, it is totally optional. So we're just reducing it right now. And here's my cream of mushroom soup. I'm going to ladle it right over this pot roast, and that's going to help create my gravy. So when you make that cream of mushroom soup, go ahead and make a little extra or save some so that you can make this pot roast. Super simple, super easy. All right, now I'm going to add in some chicken stock, and you add in enough chicken stock to almost, you're not going to cover it, just right up to the tip top. You're going to add, and then I'm just, mixing everything. You got the wine in there. You got all those brown bits from searing, all the good stuff. And then we're going to cover it with foil. And then depending upon the size and thickness of your chuck roast, you are going to go into a 350 to 375 degree oven. Make sure it's covered up nice and tight. And then you're going to let it cook for about 3 to 3.5, could be 4 hours if you have a pretty big piece of meat. So this is after the first hour. I'm taking that broth and that liquid, and I am just basting my meat. And I felt like I wanted to add a little bit more of my soup there. So that's what I did. You know, you trust your gut, not the recipe, honey. Unless it's my grandmother's mac and cheese. But that's another story for another day. So this is after about 3.5 hours. Y'all look at it. I have to tell y'all off camera, I took a little bit of roux. I tell y'all all the time, keep some roux handy. I added a little bit of roux to my gravy because it wasn't thick enough, just to kind of thicken it up. But there you have it. Grab you some mashed potatoes, honey. And look, we ain't using no knife because it is tender. That's how my grandmama said, y'all. Tender. It's nice and tender. You don't need a knife. Just a spoon or a pair of tongs like I have here. Ooh, talk about mouth watering, y'all. Then you take you a little bit of that gravy and you ladle it on top. And there you have it, my pot roast, honey, with red wine mushroom gravy. Get into it. Get the recipe. It's down in the description. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. I got more comfort food recipes coming up. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss nothing. All right. See y'all next time. Bye.